Hello and welcome back to Mistworld, the actual play Tiny Dungeon podcast. My name is Dan, the storyteller, and this is the second last episode of this season.
The penultimate episode, you may call it.
Yes. Um, Now, our heroes are currently on a mecha city, basically a major city. They've been updating and upgrading their ships to get them ready for the final battle with the dragon. Things are tense. All the other crew, pilots, etc., are running around. There's a real feeling of no, not everyone's going to survive this. Not everyone's going to make it back. And there's this kind of quietness that comes with that, followed by frenzied, "Oh my God, we have to live life while we can!" And there's parties and random people you're not expecting to hooking up in the background, and people
Goat
feasting, and
orgies.
then absolutely there was at least one. And so and one of the major things that's come out of it as well is that a lot of the crew are writing letters to be delivered to their loved ones. So some of them have asked for these letters to be sent out straight away. Some of them asked for them to be sent out in a month's time if they don't come back first. And so we're short Neely today, but I'm just going to start with Astrakhan, our golem specialist. Is there a letter that you'd send off? Which of those options would you take, and what would you say?
I am, I mean, my two people that I would probably want to notify that I might not be coming back are really my old, what do you call the person you apprentice to? Master?
Mentor?
The jeweler. Yeah, my mentor. The person
So,
the jeweler, he's in this
mhm,
town, so I don't feel the need to write a letter to him. I just go and have tea with him a couple of times.
mhm.
And my mother, who I haven't spoken to in years and haven't seen in probably slightly less long than that. I have sent a couple of letters. So the letter that I'm sending her is going to come out of the blue a little bit. And it's a bit of a ramble that mostly talks about the golems that I've made and the machines and the fancy things that we've done to the ships. And just in the last sentence, it's like, yeah, so I might not be coming back from this trip. And I wanted to say, I love you, Mum. And you've been great. So I'll write you another letter if I do come back. Bye.
And out of curiosity, how long is this letter?
It's about four and a half pages of very small writing.
Double-sided, fair enough.
Yep. Yep.
Excellent. And Henry Goodbarrel, played by Lucky, are you sending love letters?
Love letters is a strong word. I think Henry has every intention to notify his family, and he spends his time, lays out all his calligraphy set appropriately across his desk, and puts his pen to paper ready to write, and the words aren't flowing. And he's just thinking, oh man, if only this was a pincushion, I could embroider something into it. But it's I think he just lulls over it for a long time before eventually writing, dear mum and dad, I guess you were right. And then sincerely Henry. And then he'll put that in an envelope to send off if he doesn't come back.
Well, you can send off a package if you wanted to send one last cushion or
Yeah,
other
that's yeah.
embroidery before you go.
I think that it'll put a deed to all these cushions. Please note in the should in the event of my death pass, you'll be receiving my large collection of embroidered cushions. And he'll actively beforehand go out and give one of them to Astrakhan, Mr. Whitber, and Neely, and say, just in case, well, something to remember me by. And then he makes an extra special one for Darling because they're biffles.
Is it like a little
Darling,
like animal bed type thing?
Yeah, animal beds and maybe like little socks for each of her spider legs.
Darling brings me these items because as a golem, she has no idea what to do with them. So
Yeah.
I just add a little program so that for about half an hour, just around the time that Henry goes to bed each evening, Darling curls up in the cushion or on the cushion that he's given her so that he can feel a bit better about it.
Yeah. If Henry is asleep, move.
Yeah, pretty much.
If not, pretend to be asleep.
Beautiful. And Mr. Whitbear, do you send off any letters?
Mr. Whitbill will spend hours mulling over the one, oh well, a booklet of papers that slowly get torn up and thrown away, trying to write a letter back to his brother.
Mhm.
But I think by the time that we end up casting off, nothing concrete has occurred, and there's just a pile of crumpled up papers.
In the end, he ends up sending flowers, like self-raising, plain, wholemeal. It's a collection of flowers.
Well, on that note, Mr. Whitbear, speaking of things that you could send off, you've got a little companion with you now. You've got Zusha, your extended niece, who's been staying with you for the past couple of days. Other members of the crew who have family members who aren't necessarily part of the crew themselves, some of them are being left behind, possibly to be picked up on the return trip. Others are being left behind with enough money to catch the next Oracle class ship to go elsewhere. You certainly got enough money to pay for her to go back to Bastion and back to your brother, or back to where her mum is, where you guys left them right at the start. If you wanted to take that option, what would you like to do?
What do they want to do?
Uh, they're too young to know. Like, we're talking about somebody who's like 7, 8. They're a bit torn. So their thinking is, my mum wanted me to leave home and go back to Bastion. So I want to do what mum wants to do. But also, I'm a little kid and I'm away from my mum. I miss her like crazy. But also, I'm with a superhero. Like, I'm with one of the most heroic goblins I've ever heard of. They're gonna go fight a dragon. Like, depending on what time that you've asked them, how much they've just had to eat, if they're sugar low in sugar and missing their mum, or if bouncing all over the walls and wanting to fight a dragon, they give you a different answer every time you ask.
Well, their mum wanted them to go home, so I guess that makes the most sense.
If you want to delay, I could probably talk to my mentor and you could leave Zusha with him for a bit. It does mean if we don't come back, she's kind of stuck here, but if you don't want to just send her home or you don't think she'll go home, that's probably an option.
Well, yeah, it's more that now he feels an obligation to make sure that they get home safely, properly. So, I think leaving it with your mentor would be appropriate and make the most sense, and can leave enough money for sort of board and keep, and then if something bad happens, enough to pay for a trip back to the Bastion and things like that.
How do you break this news to Zusha that you'll be leaving her behind?
Very tempted to just leave them there and disappear.
Yeah, well, you could do that.
That's never gone wrong at all for anyone's like psyche in the future.
So you line up Vinkus, Astrakhan's former mentor. You arrange to have tea and say, "This is your new carer now. I'll see you when I see you."
No, definitely. Explain. We gotta go. Fight the dragon. And look, it wasn't my call, but the spider didn't want anyone else on the ship who wasn't supposed to be there. And they'll I said if they see you on the ship again, they're gonna eat you. I didn't want that to happen. So if you just stay here, at the workshop, once we go kill the dragon, come back and get you, and then we'll take you back to Bastion. No problem. Easy.
Beautiful. Now, before you get that permission, before that happens, though, Astrakhan, you go up to Vinkus, and you obviously ask for this to happen. But they bring up that they've actually been invited to stay on board the Hope and Grace to help with the defenses. Part of their work has been to shore up and magically enhance the defenses that they already had, and they've been part of that effort. But they're also not interested in her in being a hero. Like, they're just like, so they've been given this opportunity to go on this big adventure, but they're very much a hobbit wanting to stay at home kind of feeling.
Yeah,
So,
I understand
but,
that. That's pretty much why they stayed and I went off adventuring.
yeah, but they ask you, so what do you think they should do? So they trust your opinion. You're a part of the ship. You've been a hero. Do you think that they should come on board and help the ship maintain its defenses, or do you think they should stay back?
I mean, listen, this is a decision that people, each of us needs to make for ourselves, because it might be right for me to go adventuring and blow things up and find cool ruins to explore, and that might make you miserable, or you might find that it made you happy. Fighting dragons seems like a really dangerous thing to be doing, and maybe one that we wouldn't do if we had any other options. So I'm not sure that I can really advise you. I think, the advice that you once gave to me, Thinkers, was to look into my own soul, into my own heart, and decide what was going to be the best for me. And I did that, and it has actually been a good choice. I've been happy going adventuring, and I wouldn't have been happy staying here, but maybe you should take your own advice. Look into your own soul, look into your tea leaves, decide if you'd rather stay or go. I'll be right behind you either way. I mean, obviously, if you stay, I'll be on the ship, but metaphysically speaking, I will totally support you in your choice.
You wouldn't think me a coward for
Never,
staying?
never.
No. So they agree, like they're not cut out for it. They're terrified at the idea, and they're just we're kind of coming to you for permission to wimp out a little bit, effectively. So what you saying that kind of gives them that permission, to be like, I know I'm like they feel like they know they're needed, but it's too much. It's too dangerous, and it's too far out of what they're comfortable doing.
Adventures aren't for everybody.
You sound like
Right.
Vinrig's parents. Henry's parents.
Now, I had one option for Astrakhan. Unfortunately, she's had an emergency and not been able to join us tonight. So I'm going to ask you guys to make this decision on their behalf.
Or nearly.
Nearly, you mean?
For Neely, sorry. I did it again. Oh, I've been so good
She's
too.
not even here.
Um, Neely, you guys collectively adopted a cat after the goat race and have been looking after it. This is its home. You could just release it out onto the street, and it'll survive much as it has been before you guys turned up. What do you guys want to do with the cat? Do you want to take it with you? Do you want to leave it back on the streets? Ask somebody to look after it?
I mean, I think we could ask Zusha to look after it.
Yeah, I was going to say this thing.
Yeah. So I think,
Yeah.
so it's just,
Need
she's
to be
been with
real
us when we
brave
got,
and look after the cat.
yeah, and take care of it until we get back, give someone for her to cuddle.
Yep.
Probably reassure her that we are coming back.
So you because kind of like my in-laws get dumped with the animals and get dumped with the children when the parents go away.
Pretty much, yep.
Fortunately, Vic is been pretty sedate in her life, and this feels like a good kind of halfway point between the excitement of heroing and staying behind is looking after these two little
Terrors.
yeah. And
Gremlins.
gremlins. She lives by herself, so she's excited to look after them. She makes plans to move ashore on in about a month, depending on, unless she hears otherwise from you guys. And to send her back to Bastion, to your brother, Mr. Whitber, and make sure that she's safe. And once she looks at the cat very doubtfully, but I suspect it'll be like that meme where when the dad says he doesn't want a cat, and then the cat's sleeping on it, and the dad in the next photo, you kind of feel like that's what's going to happen. And then the last one, it comes down to Henry. Now, you don't have somebody to possibly leave behind, but the question is for you. Your brothers asked you to stay. You still got your parents who need assistance. and there is a general feeling that people are going to die. I know you've written this letter, but this is your last chance to stay behind as a passenger and not face death potentially.
Yeah, I think
What's your plan there?
Neely kept trying to word up Henry all this time, and I think that if he's got to the point where it's this is the time when people who aren't heroes would quit, and he's not going to quit to prove it to himself, partly to Neely, and to everyone who said that he couldn't be, that he is something. So that's why Henry wrote the letter. He's not backing out. Do you think that Henry's brother would be joining this expedition though?
There's no time.
Yeah.
So you guys have skipped around Bastion. He's located, as far as you know, he's still in Bastion.
Yep.
He's trying to find out who stole the ballista that you guys have tracked down and taken back. So
Nope.
if anything, you guys have solved this mission for him, and he's got no clue.
Nice. See, I think that might give Henry the one up as well. I did something my brother couldn't. So yeah, as much as he thinks that he's going to lose, he's feeling pretty good about himself. And as such, I think it's only fair that Neely would definitely let him drive the shiny beetle like around the block twice. It sounds like something she would definitely do. Any complaints, Neely? No, that sounds good to me.
I like to think that it's not so much that you do that, but when Neely's looking after the cat, she was the one who chose to adopt it. She's giving it one last goodbye, giving it some feeding. She looks up and sees the shining beetle flash overhead as you're taking it for a quick little joyride.
Yeah,
are you, just out of curiosity, are you going to do something that you need to roll for, like buzz a tower, or are you just doing a couple of doughies and donuts in the air?
I think his goal is to try and parallel park, because that's definitely the hardest kit thing in any teenager's repertoire. So
I'll roll me a 2d6 to see how close you roll to the curb on this flying helicopter ornithopter dragonfly-esque creep thing.
I rolled a 4 and a 1.
You scratch the pain.
Scratch the pain. I swear, Neely, that mountain came out of nowhere.
So you it's got like a kind of fairly complex docking mechanism when it hooks back up with the Hope and Grace. It needs to be lined up just so, and you are just no, and scrape the paint off a little bit as you then lock in.
It's just, oh boy, he tries to start stitching a giant blanket to throw over the beetle just to cover the stain. Oh, look, how'd that get there? Oh boy, man, those kids.
Now, at this point, the Hope and Grace and the second Oracle-class airship, the Cisco, are both kind of geared up, weaponized. They look very different from the standard cargo ships that they arrived as. They've got like kind of metal ribs jutting out the side to provide extra reinforcement. The Hope and Grace has these extra mines kind of stuck to the side, ready to be launched that you guys have requested. The Cisco's captain is so confident that this is going to be over and done with. They've kind of forgotten extra defense for extra weaponry instead, and they've got like all these rows of automated crossbow bolts on one side, ready to open fire when the time comes. And they've got one large cannon right at the front of the ship that they can turn left and right as needed.
Nice.
Just to reiterate what the plan is, so just to make sure there isn't any confusion. So it's kind of known generally that when a dragon has a lair inside of a mountain, they usually have multiple entrances and exits. Just like a rabbit. Dragons aren't dumb. They don't want to be trapped inside their own house. Humans in the past could have just blown it with dynamite, and then the dragon would be trapped inside. So it's hard to know or hard to force a dragon to come one way or out. You guys, because you've proven yourselves as being so capable, will go inside the dragon cave, inside the shining beetle. If Astrakhan chooses, they can use their new toy to lay tripwire traps along the way to try
Astrakhan chooses.
to lay down whatever wet traps you choose to imagine along the path, but knowing that every one that you drop is one you'll need to avoid on the way out. I will throw that out there as well. Um, so you lay those traps, you go inside, you find some way to piss this dragon off enough that it comes flying back out after you guys and follows you the cave that you came in from. Once it reaches that point, the Cisco and the Herb and Grace will basically form a wall together that will force the dragon when it comes out to then fly up and expose its belly to the ships, and these ships will then presumably shoot it dead. So they've got the ballista, they've got the cannons, they've got the crossbows. They're just going to unleash hell when this dragon flies up, and with any luck, that'll be it. Problem solved.
Simples. Sounds like we could do it in our sleep.
Yeah. Well, that's the hope. So
The hope and grace.
So yeah, the Hope and Grace will hopefully deliver that killing blow with the ballista. You guys will be able to weaken it with the bombs. You guys will be able the other ship will be able to weaken it with the cannon and the things. And that's it. Now it's 1 hour to go basically before the ships take off on this mission. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do in the city before you guys head off?
All right, so we need to make it come, get it up, and offer it one final blow. That's what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Basically,
Good.
yeah.
Good. Perfect. So that's easy.
Super easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
All right, good. So what's the plan from here? Do we enjoy one final meal?
You guys can?
I think Henry would do that, and he'll invite everyone over to the Shiny Beetle, and after Neely catches him. What are you doing here? And he's trying to throw the blanket over to cover up the giant scrape marks. I thought I'd make everyone a meal. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Could you let the others know I'd invite everyone down for a meal, and we'll do it as a crew. Everyone can come. That sounds good. And enter through the right side of the ship, because I'll organize something special on the left side.
So when you say everyone, do you mean everyone in town?
No,
everyone
just
on the
our
Hope and
crew.
Grace, or just you four? Fine.
That's four plus darling.
Yes.
The cat can't come.
The cat.
Neither can
the cat.
Sushi.
The cat and you can invite with business if you want.
No.
Nope.
She's too picky with her food.
Too picky. Fair enough.
I don't want to eat the green stuff. I tell you, you get your green stuff after you've had your squilk. So
Goblins just don't like that anyway, because the green stuff looks like us.
Henry actively shapes all the broccoli to look like goblin heads. Big afros. Anyway, so yeah, I think Henry will do that and throw a toast to everyone. Just, well, I mean, even if we succeed, I don't know if we'll be traveling together anymore. So I want to thank you for everything you've done for me and the lessons I've learned and the gifts I've been given along the way. And he just starts tearing up and, weeping into his wine. And I just want to say thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. And I want you all to have another throat cushion. He'll start handing out throw pillows to everyone.
I'm going to pick this moment to give Henry the mint tea that I got him as a present, which is very calming mint tea, good for emotional moments, but also likely to make him cry.
Yeah, he receives the mint tea in one hand and goes to hand you the throw pillow with the other after wiping his nose on it. Thank you. And hands it over. He's got those
hold the throw pillow far away from me, but look appropriately grateful.
He has that 3-year-old snot drip that goes all the way to the ground and then snorts it back. I hope everyone enjoyed the meal. I had to cry while making it the whole time. And he just
I've just realized that I've probably eaten halfling snot now.
Yes.
The meal was typically salty.
But on the plus side, if I roll a test on it, No, I rolled 2 ones. You don't get any hit points back from it. It is probably the single worst meal Henry's ever cooked. And
So
now
I
we
guess
know
this
why.
wasn't like egg drop soup.
No, there was the
I didn't have any
You're a
ingredients, so it was
horrible
just
person.
water.
Why would you suggest that?
I didn't understand why the water kept thickening up.
as a primary school teacher, I have too many visuals from my
Yeah, I
day-to-day
don't
of
doubt
what's
that. It's
going
probably
on.
so much worse for you.
I see it.
Yeah.
I think that's a
So
problem.
do you
I
guys want
refuse
to take out as seeing this seeing this monstrosity that
and
Henry's
offend Henry.
trying
Do
to
you
spread?
order takeout and offend Henry? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
Good. Good.
Specifically for that reason.
I imagine Neely's looking at her soup and then just says, how's about we have takeout so that this isn't the last meal as proof. We can't have a last meal now if it's not the last meal. We'll definitely have one after. I think that's something she would justify and say.
It does sound in character for Neely,
Yeah,
actually.
that sounds very, yeah. We can basically just replace them. It's easy.
That's perfect. So yeah, we'll enjoy a meal of whatever the equivalent of Thai is, because I think that goes well with the coconut milk and squilk. It just works perfect. They pair nicely. And yeah, we'll get ready for our big day tomorrow.
Beautiful. So you guys have your final meal. There's a few kind of little parties, little kind of social groups getting together all around, having similar meals together. At one point you can hear drunken singing coming from one of the other parties. Do you guys join in for some impromptu karaoke?
I think so. I think Henry's got to the point where he's had enough squilk to get intoxicated. Keep in mind, there's no alcohol in squilk. He's just such a lightweight that it affects him. And he's decided that because he's been a hero, the thing he hasn't experienced is his first kiss. So he's going to go out and use the party to try and get his first kiss around the dance floor.
Fair enough.
You put
So
on his
you
finest embroidered suit. It's all embroidery, every bit of it. There's no material. It's just embroidery.
roll me a test then. Let's see. I'll give you a 2d6
I love
despite
it.
despite your description.
Well, I think with my ability, a 2 and a 4. Henry doesn't do well.
So you're just a bit too eager, I feel like. There's just a bit of a whiff of desperation to your outfit.
Just a
And,
whiff. Like, Henry exudes desperation out of every single pore.
I was trying to be kind. And
I just imagining him, he comes up, it's really smooth at the beginning. It's like, hey, how's it going? You like this place? Want a kiss?
actually, you know what? Given your recent bouts of heroism and the reputation that would come with from it, I will grant you advantage on this one.
Oh, I'll roll one more dice just to see what we get on that.
Just in case.
A 1.
A 1.
I think he's still got snot dropping down his face. It's just,
even with kindness, even with kindness, I cannot help Henry.
No. Henry's
So-
Henry's bound to remain unkissable until his death.
He's
So,
obviously like using like the worst pickup lines. Like, hey,
what
baby,
would be the
you a
worst pickup
toaster?
line?
You a toaster? Because I would really like to take a bath with you.
That doesn't sound great. I think Henry
No.
will be more the type to mix up the sayings. It's just, hey, is that a mirror in your pocket? Because you blew me away. It's, what?
Indeed, what?
I've been reading my pickup line book and it's not helping, Mr. Whitmer. It's not helping.
Mr.
Whitmer
Whitmer
on-
previously went through and mixed up the book, unbound the book, and like changed the pages around.
That's why he said the toaster line. It's good.
I'm going to leave these two fools to their foolishness, but I will join in the karaoke.
Yeah. Fair enough. So you joined the karaoke. What is your song that you joined in on?
It's one of the traditional songs that's actually sung at the beginning of the goat festival most years, and it is a rousing sort of marching song to give the goats courage and send them forth to heroically win the race. And I feel like it's appropriate for us as well.
Yeah, Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer. I know it well.
Yeah, that's the one. I don't know how you know that, Henry, especially after that much squilk.
Fermented squilk.
Fermented
Oh
squilk.
God, it's so much worse.
Just why?
You
Gotta let
people
it
with
sit
invented
till it
squilk.
turns white.
That's the only way to drink squilk.
I'm just going to point out that you guys created this.
I do like the idea that fermented milk, fermented squilk is white. It just looks like normal milk again.
So would you care to belt out any lines of the song, Danny? Sorry, Neil, Strickland, while you're there.
I'm on the spot. I can't think of any lyrics.
You can't even belt out the whoa. Okay. And Mr. Whitbear, where are you in all of this?
Apparently dying in the corner.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, I'm recovering from the flu. Mr. Whitmer's actively going around like watching where Henry is sort of maneuvering and like actively sabotaging his attempts before he gets there. That's why he's been unable to do it, not because like of any other reason.
He goes up to a girl and you hold up a sign behind him, just says, "I have chlamydia."
Yes. So the kind of everyone the day draws to a close. You guys wake up slightly hungover, but the trip's going to take a few days, so you've got plenty of time to recover. You start heading out. The flight out's pretty quiet. Everyone from Homoscali, the town that you've been in, have stepped out to kind of wish everyone well. And there's like cheers and woo, you guys are amazing. Go kill that dragon. But everyone on the crew is kind of like, as soon as the town's behind you and you've taken off, everyone's really quiet and just kind of everyone's got their own thoughts to themselves as you start moving away. After a few days, you guys are getting close to the Dragon Mountain. There's a few kind of candidates from what the information that you guys were given from the Blue Sister, from the Blue Fae who got you on this path.
Was this mountain called Dragon Mountain before we worked out there's a dragon in there?
No, I don't have its name handy though. That's an unexpected question.
It was Dragon before. It was Draggin. That was actually manually put there by a collection of rocks that were dragged there. So it was called Dragon Mountain before, and after the dragon moved in, they renamed it to be something more appropriate.
Fair. No. Let me just bring up the world map that I have stashed around for just such emergencies and haven't had to use for a while. Oh, it's not loading. There we go. It was known as Kegrove, Kegrove, but that's kind of awkward, so everyone's just calling it Dragon Mountain at this point.
Nice. Shows the dragon we care. All right, let's Henry tries to pass some time by doing some more embroidery, but can't put needle to material. It's just not working. So he'll wander the ship aimlessly.
Well, one of the things that comes up, or kind of a potential mission for you guys, is that people are going out in their own version of the Shining Beetle from both the Cisco and the Hope and Grace to look for a suitable entrance that they can use as a trap. It's up to you guys. It's kind of you guys have got the option, given you got a more dangerous mission down the track, if you want to fly out or not. Do you guys hop on board, or do you just let the others do the busy work?
I think we would. I think if hearing about that mission, Henry will go around and ask everyone if they're willing to do the mission, and just so we can have a little extra time together, because proof at the party was that he is useless around everyone else apart from these people. So he wants to capture that little bit of hope before the impending doom.
Yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense, because if we manage to find where it is, then gives us some extra scouting time for the area for the next fight that we're gonna. Even if we don't,
I'm just bored sitting in one place for too long, so I'm in.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to play the role of Neely. What sensible thing would she say? I think she'll roll her eyes and reluctantly agree, because that seems to be the pattern that I've noticed. So you guys load up. There's 3 or 4 of these kind of ships. Yours is the only one that's armed, though, because you guys came across the lightning cannon. All the rest are just they've just got little crossbows attached, but it's not going to be much against a dragon. Who wants to roll for piloting? Well, for Neely's piloting rolls, because I'm not brave enough.
My rolls have been absolutely atrocious this evening, so anyone else.
I got a 5 and a 4.
Ooh.
Excellent.
I didn't even ask. So Neely's actually that wouldn't have been sorry, it wasn't a piloting roll, it's a survival roll, but she still would have had advantage with her hunting skill. So you guys are flying low around this like forested area close by the mountain. You guys spot it before it spots you. You see several camps, like humanoid-esque camps, close by the mountain. They are camouflaged to not be seen from up above, because you guys are flying low. You spot a couple of campfires and pull out the old spyglass and realize what it is. They're very close to the mountain. What do you guys want to do with that?
Do they look in similar garb to that of the cultists that we'd seen once before?
You're not at this point. You're not close enough. So similar kind of thing to what you had the first time you came, when you came across those cultists. You can risk getting closer for a better view, but at this point you can only make out some campfires and movement.
Excellent.
I can't believe at this point we haven't equipped this goddamn ship with like a long looker or something.
Well, you guys had the chance before.
So I think we would try and assuming we have a radio of some description. Does that exist in this world? I'd like
You've got
to
the necklace that you to contact the town. Hope and Grace.
Hope and Grace. I think we'll alert the Hope and Grace to the presence of this, small village or shantytown, and what their request of us would be in this time. Being that, and if they are cultists, then hopefully we've explained that what we had before with the cultists. If not, we'll say this looks like a similar layout to the cultists we fought once before. Do you want us to go in and do something, or should we ignore them and just leave them be, because the dragon will take care of them?
Who wants to roll 2d6 for me?
Anyone but me.
I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right, Lucky. That means the next one you can't get away from.
Uh-oh.
2 and a 5.
All right. So he says, well, look, the main concern is that they are the cultists. They've got some kind of alarm system to let the dragon know that we're coming, some way of notifying the dragon that our larger ships are on the way. They're probably less concerned with something your size. If you can find a way to either disable the camp, make sure that it is who you think it is, or prevent any kind of notice reaching the dragon, it means we'll still have that element of surprise.
Wait, we got upgraded sensors on the Hope and Grace, right?
You did. So you can ask them to come closer, but then they can't like hide. Like, you guys are a helicopter, that's a jumbo jet. They're going to see it a mile away.
I mean, being that if they set off their alarm, odds are the dragon will come, right?
It might mean that the dragon leaves in a different direction and we won't know where it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's
then
his
never
concern.
mind. I guess we'll just avoid them because we want to try and find a way to lure them out in any particular direction. If these guys see us, then we're pretty doomed. The only downside would be if they have some kind of weapon to take us out. Maybe we could go down there and have a quick look and make sure that we don't get caught.
I think we should just avoid them, and then on the way back we should fire on them.
I mean, they might just be campers. I went camping
Fire on
once with
them.
my brother, and then he explains a 4 long-hour story to say they went fishing once.
Astrakhan, did you have any feelings about when they said firebomb them? Because that's a thing as an alchemist you can potentially roll for.
I mean, somebody said the word firebomb, and I immediately went off into the corner to start writing up the alchemical, plan to build such a thing. So I wasn't paying attention to the discussion of whether we should or shouldn't do it. I'm just assuming that we're going to do it at some point. So I might make half a dozen little firebombs that I can set off at a moment's notice.
So roll me for each of those. And I'm going to warn you now that a 111 will set fire to the inside of the Shining Beetle.
I wouldn't roll 111.
Just
Yeah,
warning
it's
you.
not lucky rolling.
All right. So I've got
It's gonna be so
115.
great. Yep, so that's a success. Don't say it can't happen.
114.
So that's a failure, yep.
That's a 446.
Got it.
That one is 1, 1, and 2. So 2 success, 2 failure so far.
Yep. It's not going well for you.
2 6s and a 3.
Nice.
And that's 2 4s and a 6. So that's
Nice.
4 successes, 2 failures. That's not bad.
Yep. So yeah, you got 4 bombs. You're confident would make the camp have a very bad day if you guys decided to do a flyby and try and sneak up on them.
I still think they're campers. Just bombed a whole bunch of people happily camping.
It's very unlikely that they're campers. But
We have no way of knowing.
You have no way of knowing.
But they might enjoy fire, Henry. It's if they're just camping, it's like a campfire that falls from the heavens.
We did have trouble lighting a fire because the kindling got wet that time. And
yeah, see, they might have wet kindling. That would not be a problem.
Yeah, this could be helpful. I think in the meantime, while you're making all these bombs, Henry tries to have a private word with Darling. It's just, just
Darling, just like beep boop.
Yeah, come here for a second. He takes it to the back corner of the ship. I know we've had a long history together, and I've been telling you all my dreams, and you've been listening, and I've told you things that I couldn't tell anyone else. And it cuts to Astrakhan watching those videos later on. And I just wanted to say that I'm the man I am today because of you. And then he lays a kiss on her camera.
Ooh.
You were my first
Camera is
kiss
now
as well.
smudged.
Yeah, you've been my first kiss, and I wouldn't want anything else. And then he's like, I gotta go, and then he runs away from her and comes and sits at the front with Mr. Whitber, giddy as a lamb. He's like,
Darling wanders over to me in a kind of wobbly fashion until I wipe the camera clean.
Why have you got lip gloss on you?
I feel like there's a hidden discussion about consent that needs to be made about whether or not droids can actively consent to such overtures.
She didn't say no.
Do golems succeed on the Harkness test, or do they fail it?
They definitely fail. All right. So yeah, you've got some bombs. You've got the craft. You've got the pilot. You guys can do a flyby if
we
you
got
want.
lucky.
You got luck on the side, on your side.
Yeah, it's halfling luck for
Or
you.
do you guys want to run back to the mothership?
Sorry, I thought we're gonna try and avoid it, and then on the way back we could.
So you can't.
Check out
So
the
when
camp
as you
closer.
look through it, it's like a big ring between. Maybe not a ring. You can't see it quite that far, but it's quite a large encampment. It's gonna, unless the Hope and Grace takes a very large detour, something needs to be done.
All right,
Okay.
cool. Let's fly closer.
Fire
see if we can-
bombs.
I think
All
that's what
right.
we got to do. You've justified with Henry as to why they need the fire, and if we're certain that these aren't just happy campers, then let's save the world by not giving them a chance. Feels so mean.
Awesome.
Well, let's slow down and take a look first and see where they need the campfires. Where the best locations for campfires are.
Nice.
Yes, the nursery. We got to keep them warm.
So in that case, Lucky, guess what?
Oh God! All right.
Roll for Neely's stealthy approach. To
Does she get advantage for flying?
She does get advantage for flying.
All right.
She does.
Watch me roll 3 1s.
You crash.
3 1 3.
All right. Well, you said 3-1, so you were on the way.
Yep.
So
3 1 3.
yes.
Not great.
Not great. Could be better. So you guys, so she starts making her approach, and one of those failures that Astrakhan was working on during your approach, the reason why it fails is because it falls out of the ship, and it's like an almost like firework, napalm explosion occurs just below the ship as you guys make your approach, and you're like, well, they see us now.
Henry will strap on his magnetic boots, and then the lightning cannon is... I want it to be on the roof at this moment, but I guess it's not. No, he'll run over to the controls to the lightning cannon and... all right, let's do this! Nearly pull us in!
All right. So you guys start going... And do you guys want to make, or does somebody want to make a quick notice roll to see if you can see where the best places are for the bombs?
I can try that.
Go for
Is
it.
that just 2d6?
Unless you got a trait that it says otherwise, yes.
No, I don't think that I
Use
do.
Darling's binoculars.
I don't think even Darling has got that.
She hasn't got
trait.
better in perception.
No, Darling's sneaky.
Mm,
Oh, she is perceptive.
that's what I thought.
Oh, damn it.
Excellent. Darling takes
Gosh
a
darn
picture.
it.
It's like enhanced.
That an infrared image of the places with most bodies.
All right. If you get 3 1s on this, I'm going to be so happy.
6, 5, and a 3.
Boo. All right. So what you straight
Darling
away...
is my favorite thing in the world.
She's like the opposite of Henry.
So what you
Dan
notice,
hates the most is this fucking golem. Dan goes to sleep every night, like having nightmares about the golem. Wakes up in a cold sweat with Darling, like looking at all his problems, defeating it with ease.
I mean, just sitting up in bed, like, Darling! She's like, yes.
A spider golem over me, I too would wake up in a cold sweat.
So good news, you succeed, I guess. Whatever. What Darling brings to your attention as it's like, I imagine it's like Spider crawled to the bottom of the shining beetle and is scouting around. But you notice that there's 2 kind of elevated platforms with 2 like big gong, like a gong in each one, and a funnel that leads away from where the Urban Grace is towards the mountain. So the idea seems to be that someone runs up, beats this gong, and it'll be amplified and send a message about where any potential enemies are coming from on the way to the Dragon Mountain. So if you can manage to firebomb those gongs or the horns that are kind of around them that amplify that sound, you should be okay.
Excellent. I think we should do that.
All right.
Amazing.
With
I'm
your
going to tell
second
Neely.
success, with your second success, I'll give you this one as well, because even though you weren't looking for it, it is important. You spot a couple of catapults.
Ooh. I feel like those maybe should be firebombed too.
So there's 2 catapults, 2 of these gongs, and who knows what else?
I think we should probably put the bombs, like make it so that the bombs will blow up the gong, but not the giant horn. So when the bomb goes off next to the horn, the bomb sounds even larger, just for fun.
Oh.
So
who's going to roll for your approach as you get closer?
I was going to say, I think we should just avoid targeting the catapults. we've only got 4 bombs anyway, so just target
Can we not
the...
use the the lightning cannon to shoot at the catapults while we bomb the gongs?
You can. I will warn you though, you will not have a chance to refuel
Yeah.
If we
between
loop back
now and the
again.
dragon fight. So yeah, so if any fuel you spend now will remain spent at the dragon flight.
Well,
Next.
do we have double fuel on this ship, or do we get double
Yeah.
fuel on the Hope and Grace?
You got extra fuel on this ship, I believe.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Only got 6 though, right?
Perfect. Let's do
10.
it.
10.
We'll live forever.
You
They
live
cost-
forever.
2 per shot.
Yeah, well, for the big shots, you can use the light shots as much as you want.
Do we think the
Um,
light shots would be enough to take out one of the catapults?
I mean, eventually,
I see.
it's not heavily armored.
We have
Okay.
to shoot. Yeah. Let's just focus the bombs on the.
Well, we've got 4 bombs, so let's see what we do with a bomb on one of the gongs, since we can probably only shoot one thing at a time anyway.
All right. So I'm going to get one of you to roll for your approach to see if you can get close enough to the gongs before they're rung, basically. To
Yes,
the
your
first
turn,
one.
Mr. Whipper.
4-4-3.
Gross.
Gross.
Mistakes
So,
are made.
Astrakhan, I'll allow you to use your fancy new launcher to roll, but because you're a bit of a distance away, you're at disadvantage.
Okay. Now, I don't. If I take a focus action and roll and actually hit next turn, because it's still a ranged weapon, I can get a success on a 3 to 6.
Correct. So you can do that now. You can, like, as you're lining up, roll that focus action, but it means that you guys won't be evading if something ranged comes up and shoots you guys. You'll lose the final action to do that.
Do it.
All right, I do that.
Because that
Cool.
way Henry can blame the scratch on the side on the catapult.
So disadvantage is 1 dice, isn't it?
1 dice. But actually, I'll ask you though: Are you rolling both? Are you dropping both bombs, or 1 bomb, or just 2 bombs?
I thought that I was dropping 1 bomb, but
There's
I'm not
4.
quite sure how much
How many
damage the
gongs are there?
firebombs do.
Each bomb is 1d6.
And how many gongs were there?
There's 2 gongs.
Okay.
So, but we can only target 1 gong at a time, or can we
That's
target
right.
both?
So you got 1. So are you going to drop 2 bombs on it to try and make sure you did a job, or are you going to throw caution to the wind?
I mean, my initial plan was to drop 1.
Yeah. See what happens.
See what
Cool.
happens.
I'm totally taking tactical battle advice from Henry.
To be fair, you have been.
Yeah.
Henry's ready and waiting with the lightning gun to fire at the moment. It's the moment things go bad. That's what he's waiting on. He's hoping they'll go bad, and then Mr. Whipper could probably, because Henry's got nothing in ways of shooting skill wise. So keep that in mind as well, Mr. Whipper.
All right, roll.
Well, that's a 3, which with my focus action does hit.
Very fortunate. Roll your damage. 1d6.
1d6.
Roll high.
Hopefully. That's a 4.
Which is exactly what you needed.
Nice.
So you-
Fantastic.
Nice.
Once again,
So-
tactical battle advice from Henry wins the day.
Henry
So
has
you-
the power.
So you guys see down below. You get the little launcher up. You launch this fire, and you hit dead center mass. This little is it? I'm assuming it's a firebomb, but is it something else,
Yeah.
or is it a fire?
No, it's a
Alright.
firebomb.
Cool.
We're
So
going
you-
Dresden on this.
You're
Oh,
going
yeah.
full Dresden
Incendiary.
on this. So you light it up. You hit center mass of this gong. You see the ropes kind of the flame on, drop. You also hit the horn as well. The horn attached nearby gets caught in the explosion and starts melting away. Awesome job.
Amazing.
Nice.
Let's
At the
kick
same
it into
time-
12th gear and swoop around to the other one.
Before you get a chance to do that, I have my
Uh-oh.
turn.
Oh, come on.
So you didn't see these before, but four leathery shapes take off from around the camp area. One of them
Uh-oh.
was almost directly above you. It flies straight up and is highlighted against your windscreen for a moment. And even though it's covered in black leathery scales, you recognize it as the older uh, cult leader that you guys encountered back at the camp. She's got a massive scar across her chest from where Neely stabbed her through.
Damn.
But it looks like she's managed to receive some upgrades from her dragon god since.
Well,
She is
it's good. It's good. Good for her, man. pro cultists.
she immediately tries to grab on to the shining beetle and tries to throw it, basically. So I'm going to roll 2d6 and see if she succeeds.
Damn.
Roll badly.
No such thing for me. All right. So the bad news is she succeeds. So
Oh.
she manages to grab onto like the landing struts of the shining beetle and basically does a loop de loop with you and flings you guys down towards the ground. I will, given that you guys can naturally evade melee attacks, somebody can roll a 2d6 to see if you can regain control before you hit the ground.
Awesome. Anyone else? I think it's my turn,
mean-
is it?
It might be.
All right.
Use
Yep.
different dice.
Yeah.
2d6.
Critical. 6-6.
Nice. So it grabs onto your ship. It still does a little bit of damage. It still does 1 damage, which isn't that much for you guys, but still something. But it manages to avoid doing too much. The other two are too far. The other 3 are too far away to do much. But they are certainly heading towards you guys. Those catapults, they're too big and slow to reach you guys. They're not a threat to you guys. They're more of a threat to the Hope and Grace. It's now your turn. You can spend an action to call for backup if you wish.
I think Henry wants to grab his shield and sword, and he's going to use the magnetic shoes that he's got to run to the outside of the ship to prepare for any claws to come on. So he's like, Mr. Whitbear, you take the lightning cannon. Ah! Then leaps out the door and starts trying to run up the side of the thing onto the roof.
Very fair. You're out. I'll just say that as part of your entire action, you can make that move and evade for yourself as well.
I love it. Done.
Miss Whitbear, do you take the lightning cannon? Do you do something else?
Take the lightning cannon. I think makes sense at this point.
I'm not doing what Henry says. I ignore the lightning cannon.
Do you want to shoot at this little dragonborn-esque lady? Are you going to have a go at something else? What do you want to do? There's still one remaining gong for you guys to destroy as well.
Yep.
Yep. Shoot the gong.
All right. You need to get closer to that one, or they're spaced pretty far apart. So I'll let you guys roll a piloting roll to kind of rocket boost your way over there first.
All right. Must be my turn to roll for Neely.
Yeah, you're due.
So that's 3 for piloting, isn't it?
Correct.
6, 4, and a 2.
Nice.
So this time around, she manages to close the distance with ease. Astrakhan, you kind of like bend back at your knees as this unexpected, I presume, unexpected burst of speed throws catches you off guard. Astrakhan, you can roll with advantage to drop your bombs. You can choose how many you want to use as well.
Ooh. 3 bombs left. Do I drop 1 or 2 on the gong? Votes. Henry,
Go 2.
Mr.
I say
Whitbear.
2.
2 this
So
time?
yeah, let's make sure we get it done before they sound off the alarm.
All right.
You
So
gotta save one for the nursery.
do I roll separately for each bomb?
No, well, you'll roll damage separately, but just roll as you cluster bomb them down. 3d6
All right. That's 4, 4, and a 2.
That's
off
bad.
target.
Yeah.
So you so you kind of you concentrate, you're like, I got this. But you just as you're about to drop it, the shining beetle drops speed, and that's what throws your aim off as it as nearly kind of like, oh, we're close enough. Drop speed doesn't communicate that to you, and it throws your calculations off as you land. The good news is you land on a pile of cultists that were running towards the gong to sound it, so you buy yourself a little bit of time with both bombs, but you don't destroy your target. Mr. Whitber, you can choose to try to use your
gonna shoot
cannon.
it.
All right, roll 1d6 as you power up the heavy artillery.
I got a 3.
Not enough. So you guys use up 2 fuel, but again, you manage to carve a swathe through some of the cultists heading towards the gong, but you don't. You're not going to be. You're not stopping all of them. If you guys don't stop that gong next round, that'll be it. Their
Damn.
turn. So, like a good dragon priest cultist would, the one that's attacking you guys has a fire breath. Yay!
Oh no.
She kind of runs towards you guys. She will. You see her charging up the fire in her as she breathes with disadvantage to try and hurt you.
Does I'm being a what's it called, AoE attack almost? Does my shield defending abilities work at all on this?
It would if she had hit, but
Okay.
it's similar to your heavy cannon. She rolls with disadvantage and unfortunately rolled a 3. So nearly manages to do a spinning roll as it misses. The other 3 though also manage to do the same.
Great.
And you guys can see. Normally, I don't have my video on. You guys can see my face. I don't know how much confidence this gives you, though. As I roll, normally you can't see the excitement I have as I do these things. Neely's piloting has been amazing. She dodges the first, the second, and then rolls straight into the third.
Oh,
damn it, Neely.
Mr. Henry Goodbarrel, you can leap to the front and take this hit with your shield, but this is a very heavy attack that you'd be risking.
It's fine. I believe in Henry.
All right, roll to defend.
I believe I get my 2d6 for that. Remember?
You do with your shield.
Let's do it. Critical again. 2 6s.
You manage to kind of put your shield up, put your whole body behind it. You feel the heat. This could be up to double your HP
Holy hell.
in damage, but your shield manages to protect you and is barely singed.
And I'm assuming they're outside my range to be able to do a counter.
There's no melee. These are all attacking and ranged.
Got it.
You guys are the only target they have.
Yep, that's fine.
The airship feels like this smell of lightly roasted squid from the squid beak shield.
Imagine that though. Henry just sees this fire breath coming and then runs towards that spot and just holds out the shield and try and redirect it away a little bit. Cool image.
It is a cool image. Right. It's your turn again. What do you guys want to do?
Kill the gong.
Kill the gong?
well, got one more firebomb, so
Good luck.
I'm going to try.
Yep.
Yep.
Roll your 3d6.
Hopefully better than last time. Yes, I have a 6.
Nice.
Roll your single d6 of damage and hope you get 4 or above.
I got a 4.
Nice. Amazing.
Apparently firebombs should only ever be thrown one at a time.
That's the real lesson that we have.
You can just see Astrakhan writing that in her notebook. 1 at 8.
Yep.
Multiple throw off the aerodynamics and trajectory.
So yeah, once again, you guys, you look down, you see the firebomb. You see a cultist running up. He's picked up the stick to start wailing on it, and just as he's about to connect with it, your firebomb explodes all over him. Ah, the humanity as he runs, as they run screaming away. The gong once again, the frame holding it up collapses to the ground, and that means the early warning system has been taken down. There's still catapults. There's still these dragonborn-esque mini winged humanoid people flying around. But you guys have managed to succeed in your goal.
Amazing.
You still got 3 actions. You guys can choose to have nearly evade for one of them against all these attacks, but you also got Lucky running around like some kind of miniature Captain America keeping this ship safe. So it's up to you if you want to spend that or not.
Honestly, protecting the hope and grace is probably the ultimate goal, being that these catapults can do it. I don't so much mind about these dragon-borny things. So let's use what we can to take out the catapults, whether we just use the basic weapons. And can we move and evade towards those catapults, or is that the action to move towards them?
I'll include moving towards one as part of an evade action.
Cool. All right, let's do that then. So we'll fly towards the first one.
Yep, so you fly towards the first one. Because you're outside, I'll just automatically give you the evade action, Lucky, because you're just out there.
Yep, that's what I can do because I can't do anything else.
Cool. So, Mr. Whitbear, what are you going to do?
I guess we'll just use the ship's light weapons to attack the catapult.
Awesome. So those are rolled with standard attacks, I believe, 2d6. Let me just double check that because it's been a while since you've used those and I keep on forgetting.
The
Automatic
light
cannon.
ranged attack.
Yes. So, yep, roll 2d6 as you use the standard attacks.
Just completely miss.
Cool. You get 2 of them. Did you do
I get 2 of them?
2d6?
Two attacks or 2?
Yep,
Two
so
attacks.
2 attacks of
Two
2d6.
attacks. Miss both times.
Come
All
on.
You still got 1 more action. You can go again.
Yep. Yeah, sure. Might as well, right?
That's it.
Do you want me to roll the attacks this time? I may not be any better.
No, I got one of them this time. Getting the range in, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
good,
what it
good.
is. As we're getting closer.
So again,
And then I got both the second ones. So
cool. So as you guys kind of again twirl and whirl through the air, Neely's expert piloting's taking to evasive maneuvers. She's ducking and weaving up and down to try and avoid those fire breaths. As a result, your first 2 attacks go wide. The next 2, however, you've kind of prepared for them, and you're accounting for that, and you've managed to hit direct on. You take out one of the catapults, and it collapses under the lightning cannon's attacks.
Nice. Amazing.
The other one tries to shoot at you. Just you hear this like thump. It's almost like I don't know if you guys ever watched the old Justice League movie, Justice League cartoons. But there's an episode where Wonder Woman goes back in time and she's like really lazily parrying all the bad guys' bullets with a 6-shooter because like the biggest, slowest bullets she's ever done. She's just looking at like, why am I even bothering? As she slowly moves her hands in the way. And that's kind of how Neely's treating these catapult rocks. As you guys skim the ground, there isn't a chance for crossbows and arrows to try and strike you guys, though. They might get a lucky shot. I'm going to roll for those to see how well they do. 1 manages to hit something. There's like wave. You get like tink, tink, tink of arrows hitting, but one of them manages to get through and hit something vital, and you take 1 point of damage.
Oh, no.
The Dragonborns themselves are still hovering around, so I'm just going to give them... They're putting everything into their fire breath attacks to try and take you guys out. But they're all missing. Neely's piloting is just too erratic. Every time they kind of get a pattern they think that they can anticipate, she changes again and charges on through. 1 more catapult to go, guys. What's the plan?
I would say continue on. Let's protect hope and grace
Yeah.
and make it so that they can't, take down
Same as
our
last
kill,
time.
kill.
It's okay.
Move towards it, evade, and then we'll shoot it.
All right, roll to shoot.
All right.
I'll let both of
Okay.
you roll at once because you guys will have 2 actions to do so.
All right, so I'm rolling 2 and you're rolling 2, Mr. Whitber?
Yep.
Mhm.
Was a 4 and a 3. And that was a 4 and a 1. I missed both rolls.
I got both rolls, so at least one of us know what we're doing.
Well, you've practiced with the guns.
How can I explain this? Maybe you guys are taking over one. There's like the lighting cannon looks like antenna on the front of the Shining Beetle, and instead of like them working in tandem like they normally lock together, you guys take one each to do this. And for some reason, Riley's just on target compared to Lifty. You managed to take out the second catapult on another flyby. The arrows once again come for you guys as you make your pass.
Yep.
Actually, could somebody roll an evasion roll for me? Because I should have done that for you guys for the last arrow hit. 2d6.
I can do that.
Go
I haven't
for
done
it.
one in a while. A 1 and a 6.
Nice. So I'll rewind that last bit of damage.
Love it.
The dragonborns are livid as they chase after you. They're burning up themselves effectively to try and they're kind of glowing as they're unleashing these bursts of fire. Again, no joy though. With 4 dice, I'm still not getting a 5 or a 6.
Damn. That's good.
All right.
Great for us.
You guys are very lucky. What's the
Because
plan
Henry's
now?
here.
It is.
Let's loop around and we'll take care of that catapult. We
You've got
destroy it.
both catapults.
They're both gone?
Yeah,
Catapult's
yeah,
done.
we'll kill
Excellent.
Dragonborn now.
Guns are done. The dragonborns are antagonizing you.
I mean, I'm
You
not
don't
so
know.
worried about them. Let's just make sure we take care of that nursery. I'm worried that, the next generation will come back. So
Oh, there's no nursery. The nursery is inside the
we can
cave.
pretend. Let's yes and this and we'll just
I mean, you guys can go fly in the nearest cave and see what you see, but you don't know what's in there just yet.
We need to take care of these flying dickheads, or can we just go continue on our recon mission?
Well,
I'm-
you can call in the Hope and Grace to mop these guys up, but
Yeah.
at least one of them's pretty keen on she saw Nearly through the windscreen and is pretty keen on ruining your guys' day.
All right, well, let's call in the Hope and Grace, and we'll focus our attacks on that one for now until the Hope and Grace gets here, and then we'll be ready to dive into one of the caves and lure this bad boy out.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what attack are you using on this one?
Well, Henry will use his action to use his necklace to call the Hope and Grace.
Yep.
Hello? Is anyone there? There's wind blowing. You hear this constant coming through the mic. And did that actually come through, or did my Zoom cut it out?
Zoom cut it out.
Oh, good. Well, you can imagine how bad it must have
but-
been if Zoom cut it out. You just hear this constant wind blowing across the mic. We need help. We need to take down Flying Vic. Hello, can anyone get over here? And Henry already used shield as the evade action.
Yep, it's highly effective, I'll say. So you get a report back that the Hope and Grace is on its way, full engine to reach the point where you guys are.
Nice.
Astrakhan, are you going to whip up something alchemical? Are you going to keep on going the gun? What's your plan there?
The fire bombs were pretty cool. I might see if I can make some more of those.
Cool.
See, what I was kind of envisioning is that it would be like, the Millennium Falcon with the 2 gun turrets, like
Yeah.
Astrakhan and Mr. Whipper in one.
You can do that if you like instead. Well, roll to alchemical.
Or put Darling in
one
one of them.
gun.
We know that she's able to shoot. She's done it before.
Yeah.
It's true. All right. So another half dozen attempted fire bombs.
Well, I'll
that's-
just say it's one at a time now because you're doing it like in the 6 seconds of an action, so it's just
Okay.
more like making one quick napalm bomb. But we'll do 1d6 damage. So as they're in close.
All right. Well, the first one's a 5, a 5, and a 3. So
Cool. So you got
that's
one.
successful.
Mhm.
So the damage for that is 1.
Oh yeah, this is making it. You're going to need to throw it next round.
Oh, okay.
So, so Lockie's calling for help. Neely is dodging and evading. You've made a bomb ready for next round. Miss Whitbear, would you like to take a shot?
Yeah, with the light weapons.
Go for it.
Got one hit and another hit.
Cool. So you're hammering her with the weapons. She seems to where you hit her the first time, it seems to grow more scales, and your second attack doesn't seem to penetrate as much. She seems to be able to react somehow to your attacks.
So we're hammering her, and it's just not penetrating. That's what I'm hearing.
The first one did, the second one did not.
Got it. Good. Just so we're clear.
Just a little bit of penetration.
Just a little penetration. Got it.
Just the tip.
Just a tip after we've hammered her pretty hard.
I'd like to mute you both now, but this is a group effort.
Really had to milk into this one because you completely ignored the last one.
I've been.
Gotta make the dragon come somehow.
Gotta make the dragon come, get it up, blow it.
Yeah,
Fully
because
established.
hammering onto what is effectively his child worshipper is
Your plot
totally
armor
going to
comes
do
off
that.
next episode, guys. Just a warning.
That's the name of the next episode. The plot armor's off.
The plot armor comes off.
All right, we still got our squawk. The squawk will protect us.
That's it. We find out that Squilk works like garlic to vampires with dragons. They can't eat us. Oh, all right. So where were we? Penetrating? All right, let's loop around and do some more.
All right.
I think we were hammering and failing to penetrate, actually.
Let's try and penetrate it from the other side.
We got a little bit of penetrate. Yeah, let's penetrate from the rear.
Maybe that's enough of that now.
All right. Good. I made my point. Problem, Dan? You look exasperated. We can see it now, which is nice.
Aren't you used to
okay,
watching
buddy?
the teenagers?
I spend most of my day with like 5 and 6-year-olds in prep classes,
And their filthy mouths. It's so bad. You guys are a breath of fresh air.
And then you guys come along, and I'm like, I miss the maturity of my preppy kids.
Yeah.
Where the worst is I get the occasional fart joke.
Don't worry, we can do those too.
But the good news is, or at least for me,
that Squilk went bad. There you go.
Is that there's a beam of fire heading straight for the shining beetle for Henry to interpose himself in front
I'll
of.
engage my plot armor.
All right, roll to plot armor.
Roll to plot armor.
Yep.
A 4 and a 3. I forgot.
Oh no!
No, my plot armor.
You stripped it off too early.
Yeah, he loses footing while trying to adjust to Neely's evasion, and it's like and then gets blasted from the side with this full attack of fire.
You've exposed
burning
yourself to the dragon
sensation.
child.
So the damage that I roll for this is 2d3, so taking 2 6-sided dice and halving the result. The good news is I didn't get 2 6s. The bad news is I got a 5 and a 6.
Perfect.
You
so
take
6 damage.
You take 6 fire damage straight to the face.
I love it.
Ouch.
So that definitely takes me out.
You
Out of curiosity, with my die-hard ability,
you
does
pop
that,
right back up again.
It comes back up. So
yeah,
I think Henry at that moment of just surrounded by fire and burnt to a crisp. For some reason, his skin just starts flaking away the burnt out edges and comes back again
with more HP somehow.
Yeah, it comes back with 2 hit points. He's like, "Oh my god, the Squilk works!" And he throws his hands into the air, cheering.
Yeah, man, Squilk makes your bones stronger.
That's it, clearly, and skin. And so Henry is 100% sure that this is the reason that he will live forever.
Very well. It's your turn now.
Great.
Would you like to bomb her right to her face?
Henry can't. I'm assuming you're doing an Astrakhan.
Astrakhan.
Yes.
All right.
If she's breathing fire, do we think she's going to be resistant to fire?
Only on the outside.
Oh well, I try anyway. So
Roll to try.
firebomb, one at a time. We learned this last time. That is a 5 and a 6 and a 1.
All right, roll your d6 damage.
That's a 1.
You won't know. It's you just catch her on the big toe, and you hurt her a little bit, but you don't know what's going on there.
Oh,
Amazing.
they keep
anyone
dodging.
else?
Why do they keep dodging?
That leaves you, Mr. Whipper.
Yep.
I'm just gonna keep firing with the light weapons, honestly, until
for it.
the Hope and Grace gets here.
Yep.
Don't worry, she's shocked that Henry survived her fire breath. She's in place with her jaw dropped.
Hit twice.
All right. That definitely did more damage. They're all going to loop around. You can see that they're really, you can see they're kind of flaking off a little bit as they're heating up. They're not full dragons. They're not completely fire immune. Your bomb did do something.
Unlike Henry, who definitely is.
The one who is kind of fixating you guys, she sees that Henry's trying to defend the ship with his body, so she launches herself towards you with an aim of trying to tear you off the ship.
Oh no. Being attacked is Henry's only weakness. Tested, I'm assuming.
Let me just see how she goes for her dice.
Not only weakness, like your love, abilities are as well, apparently.
Roll. She succeeded with 2 melee attacks. Could you roll 2 evasion attacks?
I shall. A 5 and a 2 for the first one, and a 2 and a 1 on the second.
Cool. So get your counter attack in.
Yep.
Well, I guess while you're at it.
Row one of those. A 5 on my best dice to hit her back.
Yep.
So
you manage to slice her open, and she
Nice.
collapses, falling towards the ground as you manage to knock off her vital hit point.
Oh, I love it.
But she manages to whip you with her tail on the way down that you manage to not, you don't manage to avoid.
In fairness, would she been able to do the second attack if I responded on the first?
No. So take one fresh smacking to the face.
Got it.
You'll cook after this. It's fine.
I'm not invincible.
The other 3 kind of seeing this one go down, scatter. And then you guys look behind you and you can see that the Hope and Grace is kind of finally making visible in the background. And the next few minutes it turns up, it unloads hell on these dragon cultists, and they all scatter under your combined weaponry.
Nice. Henry crawls to the edge, wounded from a giant tail scrape, to look at the massacre that's going on below, to see the roof of the nursery tent burn off, to watch.
Yeah. You guys also see the captain kind of shows you guys with a cave that he spotted. It looks perfect. So it's like this little V shape. They'll be able to block off the entrance. It looks like you've managed to stop the first layer of the fence for the dragon. And from next episode, the trap will be set and sprung.
Next episode, we're entering the V hole.
Without our plot armor.
We're going.
I love the fact that the second I said that, I killed Henry.
It's going to be a quick episode. I got 1 hit point.
But can't you make food that
you can heal
you can't heal yourself?
Yeah.
But I think Henry now also has the healer trait. So as an action, I can roll 2d6 and just heal. So we'll see if that's successful next game, I guess.
Now there's no epilogue for this one. All my cards are on the table. You guys are in the middle of everything that could possibly be happening. I've got no secrets left.
You
so
say
far.
that now, but I bet you do.
Oh, got heaps. But none that I choose to hint at this point. So just to explain to listeners, I'm going to be away next fortnight. So Danny has volunteered to step up and run a vampire. What was the game you're playing next week?
The Vamp is Dust.
Mhm.
It's a little one-page RPG that I got off itch.io, and it looks like a huge amount of fun. So it's just a little, like one of those cartoons you get in the interval. Yes.
Yeah, this would be like a little, intermission.
Yes, that's the word I wanted.
That'll be our intermission before the traps are sprung, and when I come back. All right.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take off the plot armor and die.
And die in fire. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
No, 100%.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. I'm enjoying this campaign a lot.
Yeah, let's see how we.
It's great.
All right. Peace out,
stop
everyone.
recording
It's
now.
been a
Good night,
pleasure.
guys.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.